Hello folks, and welcome back to the channel. Together with these great partners, we are able to bring you quality information to help you reach your whitetail habitat goals quicker but more proficiently. Northwoods Whitetails, Plot Doctor, Harper Growing Solutions, Scent Thief, Real Wood Productions, Ace Hardware of Harrodsburg, Kentucky. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, I surely appreciate you stopping in. If you're a long-time subscriber or viewer of the channel, surely appreciate everyone's support. So this time of the year, I'm always trying to do what I have done with the channel for quite a while. I try to give information that's timely, that's in season and timely, if you will, right? If that makes sense. So I had a playlist, right? So when this all started, I had a playlist. I think it's still active on the channel, to be honest with you. And I would take those questions, and I would take one of those questions, and I would directly answer it with you guys. Sadly, over time, as the channel's grown and the business has grown, I get so much of them that I can't sort through all of them. And to me, I was kind of answering those as I went, right? But I'm going to through the videos, but I'm going to get back to answering those. I've thought about this for a long time, and when I received this question this week, it really rattled me to a point where I was like, okay, this needs to be done. So I'm hoping that this one resonates with you guys. I had a client reach out to me, and they asked me if there were 5 things that you wish you could have known about bow hunting. Now, so I've kind of taken that and made it about hunting in general, right? But the question was, what were 5 things that I wish I would have known going into bow hunting? And like I said, that one kind of rattled me, and I'm going to tell you why. Is because I have, like many of you tuning into this channel, I have learned through the School of Hard Knocks. I am a graduate, got a PhD of the School of Hard Knocks, right? And I think there's so much to be said for that, about how we learn and how we progress as a hunter. But man, wouldn't it be nice to figure that out so you didn't have to fail, so you could get there quicker. I see this each and every year. I've got folks that have 6 months of hunting experience or haven't even hunted yet, that reach out to me, and clients and properties that I go to, it's their first property they bought. And I've also got clients that are 30 and 40 year veterans of bow hunting, and they're reaching out to me. And I feel so humble about that, because I get to help all spectrums of that. But sometimes I forget that there's people out there that are like-minded, just like you and I, that don't have that experience, haven't been blessed with a father or a mother or a family in general, or a grandpa or an uncle that got you into bow hunting, right? And I think what we do a lot of times, social media in general, all over in life in general, we just take stuff and we run with it, and we forget kind of where we started. So that was a powerful question. I really appreciate that. The viewer that asked that will know who asked that, because I've thanked him 100 times. The top 5 things I wish I would have known about bow hunting when I first got started. Number 1, and none of these are in particular order, but we're just going to start with the first topic here, guys. AM access routes, non-food related. What I mean by that is this. As a young hunter, I was born and raised in the family that my dad was a gun hunter, was not a bow hunter. My good friend, which I look to now as my second father, right? He's the one that got me into bow hunting. His son and I were about the same age, and he was a bow hunter. I learned everything I know about bow hunting, a lot of that through that first initial steps. But through my dad and through our family, we were gun hunters, right? Well, the tradition, being born and raised in Michigan, you had your favorite stand, your favorite blind, and you went there in the morning, And a lot of times you sat there all day, and you came back out to a deer camp setting if you did come back for lunch. And boy, we had a blast, right? And I wouldn't take nothing from that. But man, looking back at that, and still today, you can still see that is still etched in a state such as Michigan, where that higher deer numbers, deer camp, favorite stand, big rifle states, right? Accessing right across the field in the morning, walking across alfalfa fields, cornfields, putting the stand in a cornfield, putting, just because it's corn doesn't mean it's screening, right? And that, to me, I wish I would have been taught that right up front. Don't access, and it sounds simple to the experienced hunter, right? But you would be shocked on how many clients per year that I go to. Like this year, 65 clients, and I was involved and built about 12 properties, right? So I would say, and this is the God's honest truth, probably 45 of those clients that I went to on their property were accessing right through the center of food in the mornings on their way to an AM hunt. It's a huge devastation, and boy, I wish I'd have known that earlier. How much you can really benefit, especially like during the pre-rut and the rut. But if you can get into that property untouched and let that movement work back past you, huge piece of the puzzle, right? But like I said, it sounds very simple to the experienced hunter, but I was there once, right? And a lot of my clients that I get every year, I help them jump that hurdle of just that. Now I got underneath it, I got PM season, or PM early season only. So as a bow hunter, to kind of give that bow hunting twist, right? As a bow hunter, I really wish that I would have not hunted early season in the mornings and focused on those PM, closer to food sources, less intrusive hunts, getting in there untouched and having that that marathon mentality, right? Not a sprint, marathon. That's what I wish I would have learned first and foremost as a bow hunter. Number two, guys, ties right into that, and I know this one ruffles a lot of feathers and there's a lot of debates and yada yada yada. Not hunting over your food sources with a bow. Now, food sources, I kind of lumped all them together, right? But you know, if you're a follower of this channel, I don't promote sitting on food plots. I don't promote sitting on destinations, food sources. But I do, if you can, if your property has these, which not all properties do, but a hunting plot, a shot plot, right? Something that you can get into and get out of untouched. Now, a lot of folks think that they treat maybe their food plot, it's not big, right? And they treat that as a shot plot. I know I can get out, it's dark, they don't hear me. Another big thing is I can run the deer off and they'll come right back. Well, if you're in a low pressured state, Kansas, Iowa, parts of Illinois, Nebraska, that could probably maybe be true. I've seen that a lot. I've had a lot of clients that, do that. But I always tell everybody this: I would not go to Iowa and design a property with high pressure mentality just because it's Iowa. Now, if you go to Iowa and I design a property with Michigan mentality, you probably will be one of the better deer hunters in your area in Iowa, because you're hunting it with that don't pressure your food source mentality, because you may be the only one not doing that within a 20-mile radius. It sounds ridiculous, but it's the truth, right? So I always tell everybody, if you take someone from Iowa or Illinois, and I won't mention any big names in the industry, right, but you guys know who they are. If you take those folks and you put them in the heart of Michigan, you put them in parts of Wisconsin, you put them in Minnesota, they're going to struggle. That's the reason that they don't have the outdoor hunting shows in mid-Michigan, in northern Michigan, in northern Wisconsin, right? Northern upstate New York. That's why a lot of them don't come from there, because the pressure and the age structure and everything ties to that, right? So, and I wish somebody with a huge platform in the industry would take that and run with it, but they don't. So until that happens, you're going to see the food plot thing, hunting over the food plots, just get bigger and bigger, and and it's very attractive. It looks great on film, but you have to be careful with that, guys. So, number 3, scent control. There are so many products out there right now that have really changed bow hunting, changed hunting in general, that we didn't have as kids, guys. You've all seen this scent. I don't have one. I was actually thinking about getting one, but you've seen the new scent blender and all this stuff. And guys, that resonates with me going back. I remember as a kid when I finally got into bow hunting and started really realizing that the scent control had to be that important. I remember taking cedar boughs, putting it in my pack. I remember taking dirt, making muddy water, and washing my clothes in that, and I remember wearing my jacket coming back to camp, and there was a smoke, or somebody was smoking a cigarette and just freaking out, right? That was stuff that we've all practiced for years, but we didn't have the product, the enzyme killers and all this stuff, ozone, ozonics, all this stuff, right? And all that stuff works, but the best way that I wish someone would have told me right off the bat is the best scent elimination system is no scent at all. Not trying to cover it, just trying to eliminate it, right? Trying to go the extra mile, not wearing your hunting clothes back to camp on the floor, on a polished floor, scent on your boots, wax on your boots, in a restaurant, that stuff, right? That was stuff we all did, and that's stuff a lot of folks do, when you're more of a gun hunter and you can lock yourself in a box blind, stuff like that, right? So I wish someone would have told me that. Number 4, no does early. That's something that's taken my hunting success through the roof, taken my client's success, and everybody else in the woods is doing that. If you are the hunters in that area that aren't doing that, you're going to see a major change. So kind of off rhythm here, but I'm going to share something with you, and you've probably heard this on the channel. I always tell everybody, all my clients, this: there's 2 ways to gain 50% better traction going into this season than you had in the years past by changing 2 things in your hunting regimen. 1, not shooting your does early. 2, don't hunt over your food plots. I know there's a lot of big names out there, guys, that'll tell you get out there, shoot those does early, meet those quotas, but you have to take that into consideration where they're at. In a state where you can shoot 2 or 3 deer off the same food plot with a bow, and there's deer out there the next night, well, maybe you could do that. But I'm originally from a state that if you shot 2 does or 1 doe off a food plot and you got to go in there to get her, and you can probably bank on not seeing any deer in that food plot or that field for the entire week. So it's especially if you're traveling to that property, right? If you travel to a property to hunt, you get there, you shoot a doe first, you initially sound the alarm off, hey, I'm here, and pressure's on. How you prove that, how I've proved that to my clients, is what you need to do this year is watch. If you were once one of those hunters, or you do that this year, you get to the property, you do that, you travel to your property or whatever, and all of a sudden, 3 days into it, your quality of your hunt goes down. Deer number sightings go down. You leave, get home, your trail cameras within 24 hours, 48 hours, all of a sudden your trail cameras start feeding you more pictures. Why is that? And that is a huge piece of the puzzle to me, guys. I'm all about shooting them does. I highly recommend doing that if you need that, but I don't recommend doing it early. Number 5, the importance of water. Guys, I'm here to tell you, that might be one of the most important things. I have really honed in on, I'm always watching this when I'm on client properties, but I've really honed in on water and the importance of water, especially a PM water source between bedding and food on that movement of a transition is dynamite. That's where he killed Atlas last year. That's where they're very powerful. I'm very blessed here on the farm. I have 2 of those. One is where I shot Atlas last year. That is between bedding and the end of a food source. The other one is on a shot plot on the opposite end of that field. So that field has 2 shot plots on it, one on each end. One has water in it, one does not. The reason that I have a water source in a shot plot that's adjacent to my food plot is because it comes out of a low bench, a low bedding area. I can access to that point on the farm, and I don't have to go down in there. They have to come through that funnel, that pinch, into that shot plot before they go out to the food plot. And right now, last several days, that shot plot is gaining more traction already. Yes, it's close to the food source, but it's not in the food plot. It's in a spot that I can hunt over it, separate from the food plot, on a shot plot, and I can get in and out of that, and there can be deer in the field. That's mainly my early season southwest wind, early season PM water source. If you have them, if you can really study and make sure, if you have one, guys, treat that very kindly, because it's a huge piece of the puzzle. I wish somebody would have told me the importance of water early on in this game. Number 6, guys, is probably the number 1. This one here would have taken my hunting success and took it right to the top very quick, and taken a lot of my clients through guiding, and got us there, and there would have been a bunch of deer, especially in the state of Illinois, that would have been in trouble. If I would have stopped quicker and somebody would have taught me this going into this, is the wind good for them and good for you? You've heard me talk about that, guys, numerous times on the channel. Hence the reason that I am so adamant about my, hunting the way of a transition, teeing into the line of movements, catching that left to right movement, so you're not only getting, deer going left to right, but you're getting right to left. I think that's a huge piece of the puzzle. And a lot of times you get to a spot, and this will probably resonate with you. You have a spot this year, you went there, this trail's good, you got an intersection, you got the licking branch hung, man, deer they're gonna be there, right? You need to stop and think, when are those deer there? And is it going to be good for them, and is it going to be good for me? In other words, what's down 100 yards each way of that intersection? If the habitat on that each way of that intersection, or each way of that licking branch, if the habitat is the opposite, so it's good for them and it's not good for you, you are chasing. You're kind of chasing that golden goose, if you will, right? It's not meshed. It's not blended. When I go into a property, I really focus on making that so that flows. That's why the habitat pockets are so important. That's why the doe bedding is on the right side of the line of travel. All that has to connect, and all that has to make sense. So those are the top 5 with a bonus number 6, right? Why I feel that's such a huge deal. It's something that, we just all, as we get more experience, we overlook these things, but there's a lot of folks out there that are probably watching this, whether you're a young lady watching this, or you're a hunter that is just new to this year, and you're a young hunter, high school, college, your folks don't hunt, you're learning this strategies yourself. There are so many things that I wish I could take a whole group of open-minded folks that are just getting into it, that you could be so successful and get right in the game, and literally, right, get right in the game and be more successful and have such an enjoyable hunt and get to witness this stuff. Because like I said, guys, tied to number 6 is this: most folks never get to experience the rut, and that's why we're not there when they're there, right? So that's kind of a long one here, guys, but that is the top 5 things that I wish someone would have told me dating back years and years ago. Hope this one helps. Thanks, guys.